Today, we're diving into a courtroom showdown that has everyone talking. Judge Oakley faces off with Amazon delivery driver Mr. Scott, who was cited for impeding traffic. Right from the start, the judge doesn't hold back. He makes it crystal clear that blocking traffic isn't acceptable, and if a delivery can't be made safely, then maybe it shouldn't be made at all. Officer Ryan Berry takes the stand and lays out the scene. He explains that Mr. Scott's Amazon van was partially over the white line, blocking the lane, and that moving completely off the road would have meant ending up in a ditch. It's a tough spot, no doubt about it. But Mr. Scott isn't backing down. He explains that he did his best, parking as far on the shoulder as he could while waiting to make a turn. He points out that about 15 cars managed to pass him safely, showing that he wasn't completely obstructing traffic. But Judge Oakley isn't impressed. He rules Mr. Scott guilty, calling it classic impeding traffic, and stresses that even if a few cars can squeeze by, the law is the law. Frustrated by Mr. Scott's continued arguments, the judge ups the fine from suspended fines and costs to a whopping $250. You can see the tension in the room. This isn't just a traffic case, it's a clash between law enforcement and the daily realities of delivery work. Online, viewers are weighing in. Many argue that Judge Oakley was overly harsh, overlooking the realities of delivery drivers' jobs, long hours, high quotas, and the fact that many work as independent contractors without job protections. The video sparks debate: should judges be stricter on traffic laws, or should they consider the challenges faced by people trying to make a living in today's fast-paced delivery world? This case isn't just about a fine, it's about fairness, safety, and the real-life struggles of modern workers.
Officer, come on up. Watch your step on my incline ramp. Raise your right hand for me. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Settle in. When you're ready, Ms. Manorino.
Officer, can you state your name for the record, please?
Officer Ryan Berry, Vanderbilt County Police.
And you're employed as a police officer there?
Correct.
How long have you been so employed?
Going on 17 years.
Are you currently assigned to any particular unit within the police department?
Patrol division.
Prior to being in patrol, were you assigned to any particular unit within the police department?
Several. Canine unit, traffic unit, accident investigation.
So based on your investigation of the scene on December 10th that afternoon, did you make draw any conclusions about how the accident?
Yeah. I believe the driver of the Amazon vehicle was partially on across the white line in the northbound travel lane and the approximate cause of the collision.
And that's based on your measurements of the roadway and the size of the Amazon vehicle, that it wasn't possible for the Amazon vehicle to be on the shoulder and be completely out of the roadway.
If the Amazon vehicle was on the shoulder, it would have been in the ditch. It would have, if it was on the outside of the white line, it would have been leaned over in the ditch.
And you didn't observe the vehicle, the Amazon delivery vehicle, to be in that condition?
No, no.
I did nothing but the officer.
Mr. Scott, do you have any questions for this officer?
Did you see all four of my tires outside of the white line?
No, I did not.
In my knowledge, that was all four tires were, like he said, it was the ditch. Anything more up around over the ditch, but I don't have any more information.
With respect to the form, I don't know if that was a question or a statement from.
I think it was a question and then a statement. So no questions at this time.
I have a question. You said that the driver said his driver assist shifted it over to cause the accident essentially?
Correct. But you were still the approximate cause of the accident, being across the line, obstructing the traffic.
If you said that was one of our rooms for me to be over to the side, I'm just, what am I supposed to do?
You can't park in the road. You can't stop them.
I wasn't parked technically, I was dry, I was trying to make a turn.
Okay. This is Q&A. I'm going to give you plenty of time to argue, but this is Q&A. So do you have any, did he answer that question?
No.
Okay. Any rebuttal?
No.
You stepped out. Any other witnesses from the people?
None, Your Honor, people.
All right. Do you have any witnesses?
I don't.
Okay. Would you like me to hear your story?
Yeah.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, go ahead.
So they said approximately around 2 o'clock. I was doing the delivery. It was pretty busy, traffic. So I parked over the shoulder as far as I could. Like you stated earlier, there was really no more room for me to be over without being rolled over the ditch. As I was leaving traffic to tag, I was waiting to make a turn, essentially. Like, let's say the house is right here. I'm a little bit up here, so I was waiting to like go in and back in, so it'd be easier. Flow of traffic was pretty busy. But flow of traffic was still kind of moving. Like people could still go this way to this way. Maybe about 10 cars. Then God may have been like 13th car at a time, like he said, over and then kind of veered over at the last second. So that's pretty much what I thought.
Do you have any questions for Mr. Scott?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Any rebuttal witnesses?
None, Your Honor.
I'm ready for argument.
Your Honor, the testimony from Mr. Scott and from Officer Barrett is consistent that there wasn't room essentially on what would be the shoulder of the road for the vehicle to be stopped, and because of that, the vehicle was in the roadway at a time when there was traffic in both lanes, and because of that, there was a collision. It's clear that Mr. Scott was impeding traffic when we actually found it.
What's the charge? I don't even know that.
Sorry, it's impeding traffic with an accident.
Okay. Thank you. Argument.
I don't feel like I was responsible because the driver just tipped them over with like 15 cars successfully passed me while I was waiting to make the turn. So I didn't know what else am I supposed to do in this scenario.
Pull in the driveway.
Well, I couldn't. It was so busy, and I was trying to back into it. But
You know what? I live on a private road, and I've gotten letters from delivery services that say they won't deliver to my house because my trees are too low. So if there's no safe way to deliver that package, then your company should communicate with that consumer that says we can't deliver to you.
I was simply waiting to get in the driver. I was trying to back.
But you were impeding traffic while you were waiting to do that. And brother, your tough luck. That is one of my major pet peeves is delivery trucks that park in the travel lane and everybody else has got to accommodate them because they're trying to deliver packages.
All 4 tires are open.
Get another job if you can't live with them. If the delivery truck in front of me doesn't know how to back in a driveway or pull in a driveway or doesn't have some other way to get their package in there, that's not on me. Traffic, you're really going to interrupt the judge that's getting ready to give you fines and costs?
I was trying to back the driver.
Okay. And while you were trying to back in the driveway, you were impeding traffic because people had to go around you because you were blocking the travel lane. That's impeding. That's the classic definition of impeding traffic.
Still passing normal.
But they had to pass. They had to go into the other travel lane to get what direction were you headed?
I'm not sure. Maybe north. I don't know. Correct.
All right. And the people that were going the same direction you were going, they had to get into the oncoming traffic lane to get past you, didn't they? Not all of them, some of them. You're impeding traffic. Classic definition of impeding traffic. And once again, Amazon's obviously got a great business model, but I don't think every other driver on the road should have to put up with the bullshit. I'm actually excited to finally get an impeding traffic ticket issued on an Amazon driver. Because I've been putting up that stuff for years and I don't see where it ever happens.
I just don't see what I'm supposed to do in this scenario.
It doesn't matter. I got a perfect example for you. I had a young man on Zoom today. He stole food because he had to feed his 2 kids and he had no other options. Does that make the stealing of the food less illegal? It's exactly the same scenario. All right, you know what? You continue to argue. So the suspended fines and costs just became $250. Pay it today. Goodbye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Today, we are diving into a courtroom incident that has sparked intense debate online. At the center of it is Judge Oakley and Amazon delivery driver Mr. Scott, who was cited for impeding traffic. Right from the start, the tension is obvious. The judge speaks with authority, making it clear that traffic laws exist for a reason, and that if a delivery cannot be executed safely, then it should not happen at all. The testimony begins with Officer Ryan Barry, who describes the scene with precision. He explains that Mr. Scott's vehicle was partially over the white line, obstructing the travel lane. Moving completely off the road, he notes, would have placed the vehicle in a ditch. It's a scenario many drivers face: tight roads, limited shoulder space, and the constant pressure to get deliveries completed on time. Yet, the law has clear expectations, and that's the lens through which the judge views the situation. Mr. Scott defends himself, explaining that he positioned his van as far over as possible while waiting to make a turn. He points out that about 15 vehicles were able to pass safely. This highlights the tension between legal definitions and real-world circumstances. He was doing his best in a difficult position, yet the law doesn't always account for nuance. Judge Oakley listens, but his patience wears thin. He labels the violation as classic impeding traffic, emphasizing that even if a few cars can pass, the law considers the obstruction serious. He expresses frustration at repeated arguments, increasing the fine from suspended fines and costs to $250. The courtroom is charged with the unspoken clash between strict legal interpretation and the realities faced by delivery drivers every day. This case resonates because it reflects a larger societal discussion. Delivery drivers are operating in an environment of high pressure, long hours, tight deadlines, and work conditions that can be unforgiving. Many of them work as independent contractors, with few protections, yet are expected to adhere strictly to traffic laws while also meeting quotas and customer expectations. Online viewers have noted that the judge's strict approach, while legally justified, seems to overlook these realities. As the hearing progresses, the judge's tone is firm, even stern. There's no question that the law is being enforced, but the human element is equally clear. Mr. Scott is doing his best in a complex environment, yet he faces a system that prioritizes rules over context. It's a tension that plays out in real time, every word, every explanation, weighed against the rigid interpretation of the law. The discussion surrounding this case has gone far beyond the courtroom. Viewers on social media debate fairness, legality, and the ethics of enforcement. Some argue that traffic laws exist to protect everyone on the road, and that rules must be applied equally, regardless of circumstances. Others point out that delivering packages is already a high-pressure job with little room for error, and that real-world conditions must be considered when evaluating responsibility. What makes this case particularly compelling is the balance between law and human experience. Officer Barry's testimony is factual and measured, highlighting the technical violation. Mr. Scott's defense underscores the human story. He is a person trying to do his job responsibly under challenging conditions. Judge Oakley, meanwhile, represents the law in its strictest sense, unwilling to compromise on rules even when faced with mitigating circumstances. The ruling itself is straightforward: guilty of impeding traffic. The fine is set at $250. But the conversation it has sparked is anything but simple. It raises questions about fairness, empathy, and how society applies laws in the context of modern work. Delivery drivers, especially in cities and suburbs with narrow streets, face difficult choices every day, decisions that could easily put them in similar situations. This case also sheds light on the broader expectations placed on workers in gig economy jobs. The pressure to perform efficiently, meet quotas, and navigate logistical challenges can clash with the rigid structures of law enforcement. When those worlds collide, tension and controversy are almost inevitable. This is exactly what we see here. A legal system enforcing rules, a worker trying to navigate practical limitations, and a public audience interpreting both. Online discussions often focus on the judge's approach. Some viewers feel the tone was unnecessarily harsh, arguing that the human element, the context of the job and the difficulty of navigating tight spaces, should have influenced the decision. Others maintain that law enforcement must be impartial and consistent, and that exceptions could undermine public safety. Both sides make compelling points, which is why this case has generated so much attention. It's not just a traffic citation, it's a conversation about fairness, empathy, and modern work realities. Mr. Scott's situation illustrates the complex pressures delivery drivers face, balancing efficiency, safety, and customer expectations while being held strictly accountable by the law. Judge Oakley's ruling reflects the other side, the legal system's duty to enforce traffic laws uniformly, ensuring safety and order on the roads. As viewer, this case invites reflection. How should laws adapt, or should they adapt at all, to modern working conditions? Should judges consider human circumstances, or is strict enforcement the only way to maintain fairness and consistency? It's a debate with no easy answers, but one that resonates widely because it touches on everyday realities: commuting, delivery, safety, and accountability. Ultimately, this hearing demonstrates the collision of law, work, and society. Mr. Scott leaves the courtroom with a $250 fine, but the conversation continues far beyond those walls. It's a reminder that every citation, every enforcement decision, carries human implications. And it's these stories, where law and life intersect, that capture public attention and spark discussion. This case is more than a fine. It's a story about the pressures of modern life, the complexities of law, and the expectations placed on workers in demanding jobs. It encourages us to look beyond the surface, to consider context, and to recognize the challenges faced by individuals who are simply trying to do their jobs under difficult circumstances. Through this hearing, we see the friction between rules and reality, enforcement and empathy, law and life. Judge Oakley made his decision. Mr. Scott faces the consequences, but the debate about fairness, context, and the human side of enforcement is just beginning. And that's why videos like this resonate. They show us the challenges behind the headlines, the real stories that law books often overlook, and the daily struggles of ordinary people doing extraordinary work under pressure. This courtroom moment is a snapshot of a much larger issue. It's a reminder that rules, while necessary, exist alongside human realities that cannot be ignored. Delivery drivers, commuters, and workers everywhere encounter similar challenges. Their stories highlight the delicate balance between obeying the law and navigating practical realities. And as this case shows, that balance is often contested, complicated, and compelling to watch.